Thanks for tuning into this clip from one of our conversations. We hope you learned something new and are called to action in some way in hopes of strengthening your own community. Settle in and prepare yourself for the wealth of knowledge and experience our guests brought to the table. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to a new installment in Partners in Conversation. Today will be part 3 of our Leveraging Community Assets series. My name is Mikey Crocht and I am a representative from the Center for Urban and Regional Excellence. Today I will be moderating this conversation. Today we'll be speaking on building communities and how different groups from across a region can come together to create and precipitate a much stronger community and resilience within that community. Joining me today is Dr. Ellen Szarleta. She is the Director of Cure and a professor in the School of Public and Environmental Affairs at Indiana University Northwest. They work closely with communities to identify issues of concern and develop collaborative solutions and approaches to advancing the quality of life within the communities. Their interests include civil engagement, university and community partnerships, as well as capacity building for the effective public sector decision-making. Frank Nierzwicki is a professor at the Indiana University Bloomington School of Public and Environmental Affairs. They have an extensive background in local government and urban planning, bringing over 30 years of local government experience to the classroom. Their professional interests include civil engagement, urban studies, and community planning. Reverend Curtis Whittaker serves as a senior pastor of the Progressive Community Church of Gary. He is a licensed and ordained minister whose focus is on pastoral care. He has a passion for evangelism and education and believes in the elimination of barriers that prevent individuals from reaching their full potential and purpose for which they were created. Community organizations that engage with the community and are receptive to their presenting needs, as well as working in collaboration with other members of the community network, facilitate mutually beneficial relationships within the community network. These relationships can become symbiotic, perpetuating the growth of both the strength and resilience of the community, as well as the effectiveness and efficiency of the organization. Community organization partnerships expand the capability and capacity of the cooperating agencies to achieve their common goals. This collaboration produces synergies between the agency's skill sets, in which the agency can more successfully do something by working collectively rather than working towards the same goal independently. So in today's installment of the Partners in Conversation, we will be discussing the collaboration between one university and its 2 campuses, as well as a faith-based non-for-profit. This series is a medium for extraordinary people and extraordinary groups to do extraordinary things and share those perspectives, working hard towards a community goal collectively as a unit. To address social and economic concerns specifically, we will be discussing and learning about our guest's journey and approach to participating in community building initiatives, thanks to the community coming together to combine resources, knowledge, and a passion to help, resulting in strong relationships that still stand today. So again, thank you for joining me, everyone. It is good to see you all here today. I'd like to start off with asking all of you, how did you each end up connecting to one another, finding each other?
Would you like to start, Frank?
Sure. I started my interaction with Northwest Indiana and Pastor Whittaker as I was the head of the capstone projects for the O'Neill School in Bloomington. I was actually for the master's program. And Curtis actually went ahead and applied, and I actually answered his application reply, and we started a conversation. So Pastor Whittaker, I think you have a little more interesting story how that came about.
I will share it, and thanks for this conversation. So we partnered with a number of entities, and we were looking for ways to expand the work that we do. I am an alum of Indiana University Bloomington, and just thought that Bloomington should be engaged in the work that we're doing at Faith. Found out about the work that Frank does, and so we reached out to him to see how IU could partner with Progressive Faith CDC, and reached out to a number of universities and got a bunch of no's. And when I heard back from Frank, didn't want to open the email because I thought it would be another rejection letter. And it was not. And it was from that outreach from our side to Frank that this partnership began and began to develop. And Frank was really interested as a urban planner and in the work that he does. He'll tell you, well, I'm not a professor per se, as I actually do this work. And so I approach it from a different place. And just happened that we believe in this, in God's divine timing. And it was that he was right in the throes of the next capstone project, right in this place of, trying to make a decision about that. And that's how the partnership started.
Well, that must have been a very pleasant surprise to make that connection, then it be so beneficial.
But we didn't know the benefit at the time. It was just for us that somebody said yes to at least having a conversation about what we wanted to talk about. And I think we both wanted to understand, the other's place and need. And I think that was the beginning, the genesis of, Frank saying, hey, this sounds very interesting. And and saying that he wanted to come up and see exactly what we were doing and talking about.
Yeah, I'm actually not a stranger in Northwest Indiana. I did my undergraduate at Valparaiso University, and I have relatives in the South Bend area as well. So from my perspective, I know about Northwest Indiana. I'm actually a clinical professor, which means I have a license. I'm actually a licensed urban planner. So I've worked in the state of Indiana with the Indiana Department of Transportation, with the MPO in Bloomington and small cities. So I know the region somewhat. And what really, Pastor Whittaker kind of understates some of the things that they've been doing, because I looked at, do they have the capacity to actually do something? There's a lot of people that wish that they could do something to improve their situation. But I was very impressed with the faith group and the CDC, the Community Development Corporation, there in the Emerson neighborhood. So from my perspective, I have to be able to work with the person. I need to trust the person or the group needs to trust me as well.
Yeah, and I think that was a big piece. Thank you for that, Frank, because the other thing Frank did was our church has solar panels. We have a urban farm. It started as a community garden, and his church had solar panels. So I think one of the pieces was he mentioned that solar panel piece as a church, and lo and behold, our church had worked with their church to get our panels at the same time. And so there was this thread and these other connections, like this 6 degrees of separation, however, but there was this thread that then sort of connected us, and this work that we've been able to do together to build and rebuild Gary Downtown Emerson. And I thought that was also interesting because he shared, hey, my pastor knows you, and the things you forget about and the work that you do. And I think that's right. That was one of the things Frank mentioned to us. Hey, you guys are actually doing the work. You're not asking us to come in and to do it for you. You're asking for a partner to come alongside of you and to help you with this work. And the same thing for us. We invited, right, Frank to come to the table. And at the same time, when we invite, we also look at how can we play a role and lend our expertise, because we have individuals who are on the ground who have a story, but who also have a knowledge and expertise of local issues, the local community. So Frank was beneficial because he's, like he said, from the region. He travels up and past the region, but we have every community is different, and our community is no different. And one thing I would say is that we have individuals in faith, in community, who also can serve as local experts and partners. So that's how we started.
You each seem to have a unique set of capabilities and capacities of your own, so it's neat to see you come together to find a flourishment. Ellen, how did you fit into the picture?
So Frank is the central figure here. So I just, by way of background, and Frank, if I get the story wrong, correct me, okay? I am the director for our Community Engagement Center here at the IU Northwest campus, and my recollection is that Frank had reached out to me because he was also interested, as was I, so talk about having shared interest in expanding the connection between the IU Bloomington campus and the IU Northwest campus. So it really started with Frank. Frank is taking, the lead on this to bring IU Northwest into the fold, and specifically CURE.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed that clip from the conversation. If you're itching to hear the rest or more, check out our YouTube page and consider subscribing to stay up to date. We have an archive of powerful conversations filled with stories, experiences, and human growth, just waiting to be heard. The Center for Urban and Regional Excellence is also home to a whole host of workshops and events. There's a workshop or event for just about everyone, so feel free to mosey on over to our website at iun.edu/CURE for general information about the organization and the programs offered, as well as a calendar that is kept up to date with all the upcoming events and simple prompts to guide you towards registering. The CURE also has a newsletter that is put together and distributed monthly via email. If you're interested in receiving the newsletter, follow the simple prompt featured on the CURE website. A big thanks to the individuals featured, the causes they represent, the work they do, and you for watching. Stay curious and keep on growing.